So you could actually try a few things as you go along here in terms of getting your wine education. You could check out Wines for Dummies. You could check out magazines. You can even check out books. There are a lot of them available. I started collecting corkscrews a few years ago and went to a lot of wine tastings, obviously. You start sipping, and then you start building your collection slowly, and you start learning a little bit more about wines. Sometimes it's pretty obvious. You can tell from the label what might be a good wine for your wine pairing. You could watch movies, you could listen to CDs, you could watch DVDs, and this is just, I think you have to start pulling some corks, but as you start to grill those wild boar pork chops, start thinking about what might go well with even a whole pig. How about pork shanks, spicy venison meatballs, sausage and peppers, a wide variety of things that could work for you. All right, so we're sitting here at our computer starting to do the famous what to pair with wines, and we're going to look at a variety of wines. I think we're going to keep it as simple as possible. We're going to look at things like Zinfandel, tried and true Zinfandel. Then we're going to look at some wines that make it really, really easy. They picture a stag on the front cover, so obviously this one from Paso Robles is a Cabernet Sauvignon. It should go exceptionally well with venison. And here's another one whose name says Carnivore, and this is a bourbon barrel aged Cabernet, I think from Gallo, and this is very reasonable. This is about 10 or 12 bucks. I think you'll absolutely like that one. Anyhow, we shall look at a variety of wines, and I'm going to take you through that starting tomorrow. So stay tuned and watch till the very end, because there may well be a surprise at the end. Hey, good afternoon, Boomers. Welcome back to my channel. Boomer Ranger Ron here, and we're going to be tasting some wines tonight. We're going to try to give everybody a little education on just exactly how you might want to pair the best wines you can find with your wild game. I'm actually wearing a Taste-A-Vin. I've never used one of these before, but apparently wine sommeliers, as evidenced by the front cover of this magazine, that sommeliers, you pay a lot of money to become a sommelier, and they carry one around. For the most part, nobody uses one anymore. But you can use the Wine Spectator. You can pick the top 100. You can find some bargains. You can find a way. But we're going to get into this very soon here. And let me just show you some wines that I picked for tonight. All right? I actually poured what was left over of this Rizzoli. I had this Borgo Salentino. It's a blend of Sangiovese and Merlot. Just a red wine, a no name, not an expensive wine, probably $16 or so, local store. You can never go wrong with a Zinfandel, especially one from Sangiovese. When I started drinking these years ago, they were $12. It's probably going to be more like $24 now. This Campo Amare I was able to find. This is a really good blend from Western Bulgaria, and it's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. This Wild Bordeaux, the same thing from Shin Vineyards out on Long Island. You won't be able to find this, sadly. The last time I saw it, it was running probably in the neighborhood of $40 a bottle. We were able to find a case at $25. A little secret you might want to look for, you might want to look for wild boar and stags on the front cover. This one from Paso Robles, which is the Central Valley of California. You'll find some Cabernet Sauvignon, very reasonable there. How about this one? Carnivore. How much more could you ask for that? The name itself applies. Designed to be eaten with meat. And this one is a bourbon barrel aged, so it's a little bit on the strong side, a little fortified, if you will. But I think you'll find this one under $12 if you go to Costco and some other local wine shop. So, without further ado, let's turn this thing around and let's taste some wine. Let's decide what you might like with your wild boar or your venison from this year. It tastes much better from a glass. I don't know who really uses these Taste-A-Vins anymore, but thought it was a good idea. All right, so let's put the tripod down and let's get into this, okay? We're going to hit the start button here. Hello, Boomer Rangers. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you've had a successful season and that you have lots of game in the freezer. If you like wine and have venison, boar, bear, rabbits, or other things in your larder, I'm going to talk to you today about what wines to serve with wild game. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to stay till the end of this for a surprise. Before we jump into this, let me say that there are lots of ways to learn about wines, from books, magazines like the Wine Spectator, Wine Enthusiast, Food and Wine, just to name a few. Take a look at some of my extensive library collection of fine wines around the world. These movies too, there are movies too, such as Sideways, Mondovino, which means Wines of the World, Bottle Shock with Tasting of Paris in 1976, where a California White and a California Red Bordeaux beat out all the famous French vineyards for the very first time. But the only way to really learn about wines is to pull some corks and start tasting. You'll see my cork collection in this big, huge vase. For venison, the #1 game animal pursued in North America, every year, although with the proliferation of wild boar, I think it may soon surpass white-tailed deer. We just got back, as you know, from a hunt in Texas, but I like reds, particularly Cabernet Sauvignon blends. Cabernet Franc can work. Merlot can work, despite what they said in Sideways. Zinfandel, not the pink blush summer sipper. Primitivo, which is the same exact grape but from Italy. I'll be showing you some examples shortly, and including one of my favorites from Long Island, which I said before was Shin Vineyards. It's now called Rose Hill. I think that they, and it's got a little play on names, which is Wild Bordeaux. I don't have an Amarone to show you. It can be expensive. It's made from 3 different grapes from Italy, Corvino, Rondolino, and another one. But they let the grapes dry into a raisin form, and so the fruit is concentrated and more powerful. But it's made, as I said earlier, primarily from 3 grapes, Corvina, Corvinone, and Rondinello. Barolo is another good one. I actually, hold on for a second, I think I have a Barolo here in my collection. 2016 was a good year, and this was a good year worldwide. This particular Barolo, it's made from 100% Nebbiolo, so it would be kind of similar to ordering an American Pinot Noir, which is 100%. You'll find some good producers in that region. The prices can be a little high, so you'll look for just everyday Nebbiolo. Sangiovese is another great one. This wine that I told you before was a blend of Sangiovese and some Merlot. If you happen to have antelope, again, I like Chianti or Sangiovese. Barbera d'Asti, Barbera d'Alba, those are 2 regions in Piedmont. Those grapes are both come from the Piedmont wine region of Italy, northern part of Italy. Rabbit, I had to buy one the other day. Haven't been able to get one in a while, but I think Pinot Noir would be preferred as my favorite. Paul Giamatti says that in Sideways. But sadly, he killed Merlot and caused the price of Pinot Noir grapes to go up in price. Spanish wines. I have a lot of Spanish wines in my collection, but the Rioja region, Tempranillo grapes. For pheasants and quail, Sauvignon Blanc will work, Chardonnay will work, and again, a Pinot Noir will work as well. Duck breasts and dove too. I prefer a Syrah or a Petit Syrah. A Malbec. I particularly like the Malbecs from the Cahors region of France, but Argentina is most famous for Malbec. You can find a lot of it there. A Brunello, well, that'll set you back for the little brown one a lot of money, but Wild turkey, whatever you'd like, could be good. Just about every red mentioned in this video can work for turkey. Beer, even if some wild turkey, sure. Thanks for watching, and best of luck with your wine pairing and your upcoming game cooking and wine pairing. Boomer Ranger Ron signing off here and wishing you the perfect match. If you'll take the time to subscribe, send me a note in the comment box. Tell me what wines you prefer and whether any ones I showed you tonight were available in your region. If not, let me know if there's a particular wine you haven't tasted yet. We'll see if we can't get a bottle to somebody out there as a surprise, all right? Once again, take care, good luck, good shooting, good hunting, and good drinking. Bye now. And if you don't like wine, find yourself a beer with a hog on the label.